So when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, when I sit down with you, and as your brother, you know me, you trust me, you love me, and I tell you at the beginning of COVID, I'm walking through my neighborhood, and like everyone else during COVID, I mean, our neighborhood was, everyone was walking. Everyone wanted to get out the house. I'm walking through my neighborhood just like everyone else in a nice neighborhood, and a police officer stopped me and asked me if I'm lost. Now you have hundreds of people, literally every day. It's that many people walking. Not hundreds, but maybe 100 of people that walk daily during the COVID, especially the first 4 or 5 weeks. Cops stopped me and asked me if I was lost and where was I headed. And I told them that I was not lost, and I'm just out walking. And he said, well, where are you headed to? Where do you live at? I knew at that time, at that moment, that my response was going to direct how this conversation was going to go. Because I knew immediately if a cop was crazy enough, and I use that term on purpose, to stop me, a random person in a neighborhood where many people are walking, if he's crazy enough to stop me, he's crazy enough to put me in the back of his car. I wouldn't go as far as saying shoot me, but he's crazy enough to make the situation escalate where I could find myself in handcuffs or down at the police station. And so I had to answer skillfully. I own a house in that neighborhood. I live in that neighborhood. And not only that, many people are walking. And so I recognize the temperature of what was going on. So basically, I just told him I was out for a walk like everyone else, and I live in the neighborhood. But I stopped at letting them know where I live because I didn't have to tell them that. But when I told him, I said I'm out in the neighborhood like everyone else walking, I think he realized at that moment that I understood that you were profiling me, And so he drove off, he left or whatever. So if I fit the description of someone that did something wrong, or if I was a person that was a bad person, someone just broke in the house, you wouldn't have drove off. You would have kept checking and you would have dug in. So that lets me know that you randomly stopped me. Like you didn't get a call or a text saying, hey, there's this suspicious dude or whatever, because I didn't even tell you where I live. I just got to the point where saying I live in this neighborhood. Things like that is real.